Hello, family members. Hope you're having a nice day today. I apologize for the very poor lighting. I don't normally like to film during the nighttime for, I think, what is obvious reasons. But something came up that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, but it's gone to just a absolutely another level, and I just have to talk about it. So, J.K. Rowling has publicly called a cis woman a man because she's lost her darn mind with this trans bigotry. It has literally caused her to say absurd, incorrect things. And this isn't the first time. And this isn't so much about her or the poor Algerian Olympic boxer who she decided was a man without any evidence or whatever. And if she'd actually done any research, like I did a quick Google search to see, and there is literally no conclusive evidence that there's anything about this woman that is anything other than a woman. And she lives in a country where being trans is against the law. And the Olympic committee of that country picked her to be one of their athletes, which seems unlikely. So you would think that would be enough red flags right there for her to go, whoa, before I post this, I better check. And if she'd done a good quick Google search, it's very easy. I found multiple articles. Washington Post has an article that explicitly says there is no evidence she ever even had elevated testosterone, let alone XY chromosomes. Like, it is all rumors and speculation, nothing provable, and all evidence points to the contrary, Born a woman, says woman on her birth certificate. Like, there's literally no reason other than one weird organization that doesn't even exist anymore, one time saying they thought they had some sort of a weird result on a test or something. And then every other bit of evidence that's ever been put out says that this is BS. But oh, that J.K. Rowling, she jumped right on that ship and started calling this woman a man. It's stunning. Stunningly bad. Stunningly stupid. How this weird, we are feminist but not really movement that pretends to protect women by hating on trans people really has a huge problem with misogyny and a huge problem with any woman that isn't what they think a woman should look like or what they think a woman should be. You're not a wife and mother. You're not a little femme princess. Well, then maybe you're not a woman. Like, these weirdos never think about the butch women, butch cis women, that their ridiculous bigoted crusade is hurting as a byproduct. They may want to harm trans people, but they are also harming butch women a lot. And even not necessarily that butch of women, I remember not that long ago, I saw an article about Katie Ledecky, and the comments were full of people who thought that she was a trans person, who thought that she was a trans woman, and were, I think, maybe half remembering Lena and thinking that was her. Katie Ledecky is a national hero. She's like one of the best Olympic swimmers we've ever had. She's amazing. And she isn't even really a butch woman in that regard. She's just, you know, when you're in the middle of your athletic competition, you're not exactly dolled up and pretty. And I guess that's enough for people to decide that you might potentially be trans and not cis. I mean, if she were, fine, but she's not, and it's really weird that you think that way. This is nothing new. This idea of excluding trans people from sports more often harms cis women than anybody else. It doesn't harm cis men. And, trans people probably end up self-selecting to the point where that doesn't happen so much, but it's awful. It does hurt trans people, but in reality, absolutely the biggest cohort of women that are harmed by this anti-trans panic are cis women who, for any reason, someone thinks doesn't match their gender presentation. There's the story about a kid who was like a little league kid, and another kid's parents thought that she was trans because she had short hair, and they like were verbally abusive to her and her parents. Like, that's wild. I mean, I personally have a friend with a cis female daughter who is somewhat butchy, who's been harassed in bathrooms because her gender presentation doesn't match what people think it should be. Like, it's so utterly bizarre how half-baked all of this is. Like, these people can't even be bothered to check to see if there's any basis at all for what they're saying before they say it. If they think something is deviant or trans supportive or other or of the bad people, they're just perfectly willing to just go in, say whatever the heck they want to say, do whatever the heck they want to do, and face no consequences for their actions. And, I mean, look at Joanne. Has she faced any consequences? No. Hey, she's probably making more money now. Like, she has all these, like, people who feel like they have to be her fans and support her because she's the person who supports the political position they do. And there are so many people who think of themselves as allies to the queer community that still support Harry Potter, and it just blows my mind. I'm like, are you not aware that you are literally giving money to a woman who believes that you giving money to her is a sign that you support her political positions? She said that. The fact that people still buy her books and go buy her movies and watch all the stuff and do all the things and support her products financially, she believes that you are saying, I support J.K. Rowling's bigotry. So, if you weren't aware of that, now you are, and do with that what you will. But I mean, it's just misogyny. It's misogyny. It's, anytime that a woman dares to be strong and athletic, there's always going to be some cohort of people that want to find some reason to drag her down because they don't approve of women engaging in masculine pursuits, And I feel so bad for Caster Semenya, I can't remember her name, and this Algerian boxer whose name is like Imane, I think. I can't. I'm sorry. I've only read it. I haven't had it pronounced, but I just feel so sorry for him. You know, like, it's being a cis woman, you're conditioned from birth to think of masculine women. The worst thing a woman can do is be masculine. And they've had to deal with that fact that they like sports and maybe aren't built in the way that women should be built, and have to deal with all that prejudice and internalized shame and internalized misogyny. And then they get to a point where it should be the most exciting time in their lives. And it's tainted because a bunch of idiots couldn't take the time to Google it before they started calling them things and making accusations and dragging them down. You know, keep their names out of your mouth. You know what you're talking about. And you're hurting women, cis women, and trans women, and trans men. You're hurting so many people. Just stop. I'm so angry on their behalf that how can you taint her moment? That Italian boxer who made her white woman tears. Fuck you. Don't take her moment because you are a bigot and you can't take the time to understand that your bigotry doesn't even apply here, but fuck you even if it did. All right, I'm running out of battery. I gotta go.